There's no way the Atlanta Falcons knew it at the time, but a decision they made back in April has proved to be a major stress reliever as Terry Fontenot, Raheem Morris, and the rest of this coaching staff and front office have dodged a major bullet. So welcome on into Falcons Today by Chat Sports. Matthew Peterson here breaking down what has been a huge headache for the rest of the NFL, but has not applied to the Atlanta Falcons. If you haven't noticed, only 2 of the 32 players selected in round 2 of April's draft have signed their rookie contracts. Those 2 players are Jaden Higgins, the wide receiver from Iowa State who went to the Houston Texans, and Carson Schlesinger, the linebacker from UCLA who went to the Browns at pick 33. Those are the first 2 selections of round 2. Why only those 2 players have signed their rookie contracts when training camp is less than a week away for rookies across the NFL? Because the Houston Texans screwed everyone else over. That's really the simplest way to put it. They gave second-round pick Jaden Higgins something that's never been done before in the history of the NFL. A fully guaranteed contract for a second-round draft pick. So, what happened to every other second-round draft pick? They called up their agent and said, hey, I'll have what she's having. I'll get a fully guaranteed contract, please. And the Browns, who had Carson Schlesinger selected 1 spot ahead of Higgins, clearly had very little leverage to say, I know that Higgins was taken 1 spot after you, but we're not going to give you the same deal that he got. So they gave their guy, Schlesinger, a fully guaranteed second-round contract. But every other pick in round 2, they have not gotten that from their team. And time is running out. But you know what team is not stressing about this? The Atlanta Falcons. Because they didn't know it at the time. But when they decided to make a trade with the LA Rams to jump back into round 1 to select James Pearce from Tennessee, well, that meant they gave up their second-round draft pick to the LA Rams. And now, as the training camp, gets around the corner here soon, rookies report in 5 days, July 19th, all 5 players for the Atlanta Falcons, all 5 rookies for the Atlanta Falcons are under contract. So, as other rookies from round 2 begin to hold out, because you don't have to show up to rookie minicamp, you don't just show up to other things in the spring, they're voluntary, and be deemed a holdout, right, for it to be a crisis. But when training camp gets here and you're not there, well, that's a holdout. That's a good old-fashioned holdout. And it's not wildly uncommon for rookies to not report for the start of training camp because of a contract issue. Georgia fans watching, Roquan Smith, when he went to the Bears, he did not show up to training camp initially because there was a disagreement about the language in his contract. I think the language was, hey, if you were to get suspended because you hit a player in the head, well, we're not going to pay you your salary then. And Roquan's like, that's not fair. I still want to get paid even if I get suspended. So I can kind of see from both sides there. But that got resolved, and it was not a bridge being burned type of thing. But man, it's going to be complex for teams that have a second-round draft pick who they have big roles and plans and expectations for, taken in round 2, missing the most valuable portion, valuable training camp of their NFL career. Their very first one. When they learn the playbook, when they learn every single piece of checks and pre-snap motion, all that stuff. You need to be there as a rookie. And for them to miss it because of what Jaden Higgins and the Texans did, well, there's going to be a line at the next NFL, GM get-together, whether it's the Combine. I'm guessing, for now it would be the Combine. Nick Caserio, the Texans GM, there's going to be a list of 31 other GMs that want to fight him at the NFL Combine in Indianapolis next February. So, except for Terry Fontenot. So I guess there'll be 30 GMs that want to fight him. And anyone else that did not have a second-round pick. I can't think of another team that didn't have a second-rounder. So the Falcons, they dodge a bullet. All 5 of their rookies, like I said, are under contract, and they're ready to roll out there July 19th for training camp as rookies report. And then the veterans report on July 23rd. And I'll talk about training camp and the rookies in that in just a second. But first, a quick shout out to our sponsor today, Factor. Summer is here, more sun, more light, more time to do all the things that make summer so special. And the number one thing you don't want to be doing all summer is spending hours inside cooking. That's where Factor comes in. Factor's chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals are ready to eat in just 2 minutes, taking the hassle out of eating well. Factor meals arrive fresh and ready to eat, perfect for any lifestyle over summer and beyond. With 45 weekly menu options, you can pick gourmet meals that fit your summer gains and goals. Choose from options like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, Keto, and more. I love Factor when you're trying to lose a little bit of weight without spending a lot of time and money doing so, because their meals are going to put you in the right direction to create the right habits. So get started at factormeals.com/FalconsChat50off and use code FalconsChat50off to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. That's code FalconsChat50off at factormeals.com/FalconsChat50off for 50% off plus free shipping. Factormeals.com/FalconsChat50off. All that information is in the comments and description of today's video. So last thing I want to talk about before I get you guys on your way. Rookies reporting to training camp. We got 5 rookies, right? You've got Jalon Walker, James Pearce, Xavier Watts, Billy Bowman, and Jack Nelson. In terms of who I'm excited to see the most, I could come at you with a, off the beaten path answer of, Xavier Watts can really push for a starting job next to Jesse Bates, and that's true and all, but let's cut the shit. It's Jalon Walker and James Pearce. It's the 2 players that can have the greatest impact on this team from the rookie class in my eyes. It's the guys that Raheem Morris and Terry Fontenot need to deliver as soon as year 1. I'm not talking outlandish 10 or more sacks, but they got to have more than 2 or 3 sacks. They got to get somewhere between 5, 6, 7 sacks, because this is a team that ranks dead last in sacks since Terry Fontenot took over in 2021. So don't come at me with this. Jack Nelson as a swing tackle is the number 6 guy. He's one to watch for. What if Caleb McGarry gets injured? No. I want to know, what are Pearce and Walker going to do as rookies? What roles are they going to have? Is Jalon Walker going to be strictly an outside linebacker? Are we going to see him throughout the summer and preseason kick to inside linebacker on 3rd and 10 so they can get Floyd, Pearce, and Walker and Ellis, their 4 best linebacker pass rushers on the field at once? I want to see how James Pearce handles playing against guys obviously larger at tackle than he did in college, and if he was just a one-trick pony at Tennessee who dominated with speed but doesn't have the strength to keep up with the big boys on Sunday. I want to see how Jalon Walker and James Pearce rotate in and out a little bit and what versatility they offer. Those are the guys I want to see. And most importantly, can they start? Because right now you've got Arnold Ebiketie and Leonard Floyd as kind of the veteran incumbent players at that position. But one is obviously, older, former first-round pick by the Bears from Georgia back in 2014. That's 2 Georgia-Chicago Bears references in one video. So he's over 30, and Ebiketie's been a somewhat underwhelming second-round draft pick. I think we can agree on. So can Pearce or Walker push one or both those guys for starting gigs right from the jump? That's what I'm excited to see from this rookie class when they all report for training camp in 5 days. All right, that will do it for us on today's episode. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Enjoy the rest of your Monday, and I'll see everyone later.